Welcome to your Monday happy place with Lisa and Didi.
Hi.
Hi, happy long time.
Happy long time.
No,
Didi.
me love you long time. $5. Me love you long time.
Only $5. I fly now to you.
Okay, we've immediately set the tone for today's show. Very good, people. We will be looking at some charts as well as having some bit of fun and a general chat. What a week, eh? What a week.
Yeah. Hey, Didi, you want a happy ending? It's $1,000.
I can pay the happy ending now because Bitcoin went up $1,000.
It did. That is right. See, Sean's like, where the hell are they going with this? And it's like, wow, it's all planned.
One big green candle.
We love you long time, green candle.
Well, you two are clearly very excited because there's finally been some chart action in Bitcoin and Ethereum.
I had two charts that I had for BTC, and I'm just very happy I didn't have to put the other chart up saying that I got it wrong. And I'm like, whoa, got it right.
Okay, so today, folks, we're going to have a close look at what is in fact happening with Bitcoin and Ethereum. And then I think second half of the show, we'll have more of a general chat on the absolute madness and hype that has also clearly hit the space when I'm seeing people advertising Telegram groups for $2,000 just to join the damn group.
I really think it's the aliens. It's all the aliens that have landed,
yes.
And they've come in and they want our Bitcoin.
We will be talking about aliens in the second half of the show as well, so stay tuned. First up, let's look at some charts.
All right, let's share some charts. It helps if I'm on the charts.
Oh God, I enable screen share and you can't. Oh, here we go.
She was still watching the aliens.
Well, yeah, that's it. I was still watching Joe Rogan talk about aliens. So, okay, so this is me. I'm Lisa, and I'm in a long, and I'm very happy because me love you long time. I'm going to put that on my charts. So this is my whale, and the reason my whale, you know, and Moby, he's been a dick. He's been baiting the bears. He's like, we've had a couple of dropouts out of the channel where the bears would have been like, wow, and then like, no. So yeah, that's kind of how the bears have been going. And so right now, BTC is moving up on bear tiers. We can see that we've got not a lot of volume coming into the market. We've had quite a bit of volume, but there's certain regions that people will have stops if they're in shorts, and these are getting hit, obviously. So we're at our next resistance, and yeah, so if we're going to correct here, which probably we won't see a lot of corrections in this area, just due to the fact that the FOMO will be starting to kick in because all the bears were shorting at, you know, sort of the high nines saying BTC is going to 7. And I'm just like, BTC is not going to 7. BTC is going to 11 here. So we are going to see a push up to the bullish pivot. So this whole pattern, and this is the $2,000 candle pattern. So I think, you know, while it doesn't appear that it's going to come in one candle, it still could. We still could get quite a huge candle coming up, and yeah, we are going to keep going. So we're going to hit around this range. We'll probably see a sort of a correction within this period sort of range here, and then we will continue up. So if I go to the chart that I had up last week, which was a Binance chart, which I was showing that this also, we had the 4 lower highs, higher lows. Here, going backwards, the 4 higher lows as we went here. And the reason I believed that we were going up was we had the 4 higher lows in this region as well. So that's what we've seen. So I've put on the waves in this region, and we can see that we're in this 5th wave. So at this point here, which is about 11,000, sort of maybe 800-ish, we will get a deeper correction, which I think, depending on FOMO, so we're going to have the FOMO kicking in, but at this point, exchanges and whales are going to want to take some profit. So that's when we see these big candles that instantaneously go down. So Arthur Hayes has tweeted a few tweets, and I always love his tweets because I like to analyze them because I think they're very cryptic, and you know, he puts a lot of thought into these things, and I have you know, sort of worked out that a lot of his tweets have something to do with how he's trading or how the market's going. He put a Scrooge McDuck quote up. Now, Scrooge McDuck is closely tied with a lot of the stuff that Warren Buffett says. And even though he's a 1950s cartoon, there's a lot of parallels to Warren Buffett. And one of them is about not over leveraging. So he's tweeted today that he's going Scrooge McDuck on this. So which means that the whale's going to play, and that anyone who's over leveraged is going to lose. And that's what that tweet means to me. So I truly believe that if you're going to over leverage BTC, and you know, the whales are gonna start taking it down. So, and it's going to move really quickly. So once we get to these upper levels and these correction points, it's going to, you know, potentially once we get to this 3rd wave correction point, which is about 10, sort of 800-ish, we could take you know, a $1,000 drop at this point and then continue back up. So these are possibilities within the Elliott wave. So the wave, the 4th wave down, normally sort of comes in level with the 1st wave. It can, in a leveraged market, cross by a wick on a higher time frame, which is a 12 to a 24-hour or a daily chart. So when we're looking at that, we've got that crossover, and we've got that $1,000 drop. So if the exchanges, you know, people like Arthur Hayes, who might be trading, decide to take profit, then they're going to market sell this. They're still going to be in massive amounts of profit. And then, you know, all of these people waiting down lower because their orders didn't get filled, you know, are going to get filled, and BTC is going to continue up. So this is the game that they play. So, you know, and then you're going to see all of the people, like we did yesterday. Twitter went incredibly quiet when we started going up, because obviously everyone was telling me how we were going down, and we didn't go down. We continued up.
That's why we follow you, Lisa.
So yeah, it's just, you know, the overall sort of, and I've said this before, that I have this theory that the way to get crypto noticed right now in this current climate is to push the price up. So, you know, the way to build adoption is through the price rising, and that's happening again. And, you know, more people, I've noticed over the last month, more people are asking me about crypto, more people are asking me how to buy crypto. You know, we've got people buying crypto on their credit cards again. Every exchange offers that. So, you know, I think we're going to see that sort of influx of money coming into the market again. The market cap has gone up massively, so we haven't hit our highs, but we...
On that note, people, there are 3 videos on this channel for all these people that are calling me and asking me about DeFi coins. I've made some videos. They're very easy to follow. That's how you can get them. So please watch those before you contact me. Anyway, back to you, Lisa. You're right, though. This feels 217. I'm getting a flood of interest.
Yeah, so I'm just going to bring up the crypto market cap, and we can see that we've had a massive rise. We're at it's not going to load now. Being slow. If it ever loads, we can see that we are at a resistance point, which we are also at a resistance point on Bitcoin right now. So wait till my lines come in. So we can see that resistances and supports are usually caused by waves hitting the top or the bottom, or sort of where there's, you know, a region where many waves sort of meet, and that's how we gauge a resistance point. So at this point here, we've got tops of waves that are kind of happening. So we can see they're all sort of meeting. This one has stopped in this region, so we'll probably see a little bit of a correction happening, which will happen in BTC as well. So if anyone's buying in at this point, I wouldn't really suggest it unless they print a whole heap of more tether and they start pushing it through. But so we've got a correction coming within the market at this point. I don't think it's going to be a massively deep correction, and then we're going to continue pushing up. So we're going to have a little bit of money come out over the next probably day, and then we're going to push up towards the end of the week, and we should hit those targets within BTC. Now, there's a next bullish pivot on BTC, depending on exchange, sort of sits at 10,600 to about 10,800. So we don't need to pass that, we just need to tap it. And just tapping that target will ensure that we are in pattern to head to the 16,000 and potentially 21,000 and 30K if mega FOMO kicks in. So that's what we want, and the exchanges know that this is what we want. So there's been a lot of tether printing, and this is what is going to draw the people. Money talks. Money always talks. So, you know, the more money that is sort of, you know, printed and brought into the market will bring new people into the market, which means that they can pull their tether out. So this is what happens. And we saw during the 2017 bull run that we would get $1,000 drops. And, you know, one day it would be $10,000, the next day it was $9,000, and all of a sudden the day after that it was $11,000. So we were having these massive, massive fluctuations. So it was kind of impossible to margin trade. It was impossible to have a stop loss on there because the stops were getting taken out. So you were sort of trading naked a lot of the time in that market if you wanted to survive. And this is what's about to happen. Yeah, so, you know, if you're working on stop losses, they're going to be the liquidity for the market. And leverage trading is also going to be the liquidity for the market, because that is where the greatest money for exchanges can be made. And that's how they can continue to push the price higher. So for anyone that's over leveraging, you've got to understand that the waves in a bull market move, especially in Bitcoin, $1,000 to $2,000 either way. And they do it in very, very short periods of time. So, and that is how the price is pushed up, because, as I said, liquidity is the king in the bull market, and that's what you want. So taking people's stops and killing their leverage trades, essentially you're taking their money. So, and that's what that tweet is. And I've posted on Twitter, so if anyone wants to have a look, a breakdown of what Scrooge McDuck is. So there's the website that explains how, you know, all the lessons that Scrooge McDuck teaches everyone in the Looney Tunes cartoons, or Disney, I think it was.
Lisa, while you're on this this particular chart, could you just zoom out to just give some perspective to the total market cap during the last bull run and where we're at currently?
Yeah. So we can see last bull run, we had massive, massive amounts of money come into the market. So we put So $765 billion. So we're not even halfway yet. And so potentially, so we've got 324 billion and we're at halfway marker. Sort of, you know, Bitcoin went to 20,000 or 19,980 or something. But so essentially we've just crossed that $10,000 mark and we're not even halfway. So that does mean that we can cross the all-time high if the market continues to rise within and the money starts flowing in. So essentially, $765 billion potentially is 25 to 30,000 USD Bitcoin. So when you think of the market that way. So, and another thing is you've got all the DeFi and all the alts. So those will run as well. And then the money pulls out of those and it goes into Bitcoin. Now, I thought about 10 days ago this was going to happen, but it took a little longer than what I thought. And I tweeted this out saying that, you know, I bought bigger bags because of my profits went into Bitcoin. So, and I did this on the 17th of July, which is 10 days ago today. And it didn't do a lot, but it sort of went sideways for a week extra, and then we started going up over the weekend. But yeah, so there's method to my madness when I tweet these things. That, you know, that's normally what I'm seeing. I'm seeing the money start to come out of things and move into Bitcoin. So, and we saw certain support levels that were holding, and we saw that, you know, there was less drop in a lot of the waves. So when, you know, I explained this last week where we saw a $400 drop and then only a $100 drop, but we had the same volume entering the market.
Yeah. Okay. Shall we move on to the other big mover, obviously?
We shall. The other big mover was Ethereum. So if we go, I've got about 500 charts. So we had a double head and shoulders pattern here on Ethereum, and the first one pushed us up and we hit our channel resistance, and then we've come down, we corrected, and that was in line with the correction that BTC did for 2 months. So from the 1st of June right through until the 18th of July. So, you know, and this goes in line with what I was seeing with BTC. So on the 17th of July was my tweet about I had just put all my profits into BTC. And at this point as well, we started moving with Ethereum. So I tell people how my portfolio is broken down. So I've got 25% BTC, 25% Ethereum, 25% BSV, and the rest is spread into alts. So my alts bags are actually like, I've got a lot more money in them at the moment because of Elrond, but than they normally would. Elrond's just gone.
Don't mention that name. I want to burst into tears every time you say it.
Yeah, so ERD, I won't say the whole name, has just gone 333%. 3,333% since the purchase of that coin. So it's like massively, massively huge. My daughter walking through. And yeah, so this is the same point on BTC. So Ethereum started to move. Ethereum started to push out news that 2.0 was coming, that they were nearing completion, that you know, they had the necessary Ethereum or close to it. They've actually had a BTC deposit to Ethereum because they've got the cross-chain stuff happening. And that has enabled them to, you know, start the 2.0 project. And Ethereum has absolutely taken off. The only thing is, it's like the mempool on both BTC and Ethereum is so clogged at the moment. There's something like 200,000 Ethereum transactions that are, you know, still waiting to be confirmed. So, you know, the way there's a way that you can, if you want to spend a little bit more money to get your transaction pushed ahead. So you send all of the money, you copy your wallet address that you've sent your Ethereum from or your BTC from, and you send all of your money back to yourself. So at the highest possible fee. So, you know, and that if you've got an urgent transaction, that'll push your transaction through. So it's kind of a cheats way to do it, but it's going to cost you more money. So, you know, if you're looking at transferring money or a crypto, I wouldn't be doing Ethereum or BTC right now. I'd be looking to BSV, Litecoin, XRP, all move instantaneously. So, and all have, you know, the capacity to do so. Ethereum and BTC just don't have it. Once Ethereum does go into the 2.0 though, they've still got some issues moving forward with that. So, and this is why ERD is such a big thing for me, and why I call ERD the Ethereum killer is because, you know, the transaction speed is 10,000 compared to the small transaction speed that Ethereum has. They have bigger blocks. You know, there's so many different things, and they have the interchain, that interoperability, that's that word that I can never say, which allows, you know, you to sort of other chains to talk to each other, and that's what ERD does, and that's why it's so amazing, such an amazing project, and people are noticing, and that's why it's going up. So let's go. I'll show you. This is a chart that I put up on TradingView. My dog's gonna bark. So we've got my drinks. So this is Happy Lisa if it gets up here. So we've got a 1,045 target. We need to hit this 300, around probably 374 to 384, depending on exchange. We're nearly there. If BTC continues to push through, which I think it will, I think we're going to get a small correction along the way. But Ethereum's going to see a bull run to 1,045. So I don't think we're going to get we could with FOMO. We may not get the all-time high on Ethereum, but I definitely think we're going to see it with BTC, because BTC is the name that people know. So if you're coming into the crypto market, you're going to buy Bitcoin. And, you know, it's marketed out there that crypto is Bitcoin. I don't care what anyone else says, that's what it's marketed as. Yeah, so I'll quickly bring you up.
Can I just throw a little comment in there though on that one? You know, people that have been in the space for a while, but maybe not constantly in the space, but hold some BTC, hold some Ethereum. I seem to be getting more interest from that crowd on what's happening on Ethereum and DeFi, to the extent that the common question I'm getting asked is, am I too heavy in BTC? Comments, please.
Yeah, there is that. So obviously, with the interoperability of these chains, I think, you know, and a lot of them being built on, you know, Ethereum platforms, then, you know, the ICOs on these were all done on Ethereum. So, you know, they are built on Ethereum platforms. About, I think it's 40%, 30 to 40% of these Ethereum platforms have moved across to other platforms. So I don't think, you know, BSV's picked up a lot of the Ethereum platforms. So I don't think it's all Ethereum anymore. But yeah, so you do have those, you know, that Ethereum base to a lot of these things and a lot of these projects.
Yeah.
So, you know, Ethereum is a major player, and it's as long as they can get the 2.0 right, and they can get it functioning and working as it should, because right now it's not. So, you know, it's right up there with BTC, where, you know, they're the dinosaurs of crypto. So unless they innovate and keep these projects moving forward, they're going to be taken over by projects like all these DeFi projects. So, you know, Ampleforth, Elrond, P Network, Synthetic Network. So many projects are just going to come in and take over this space. And while Bitcoin is the founding father of all of this, it's maybe a dinosaur, just, you know, like people say, the store of gold.
Yeah,
so and that could be, you know, just what it is.
Yeah, I'm sort of, I wouldn't say I'm at a crossroads, but it is a fascinating sort of time. Clearly the institutions, you know, it's all about Bitcoin, and obviously we've had news. I know Didi wasn't overly happy with this, where, you know, US banks can now custody Bitcoin legally. So
I'm not really happy about that either. Giving somebody
Bitcoin at the end of the day is for having everything. You know, it's an asset you control. You remember 12 words, and you can keep your wealth in your head. It's yours. So there are, you know, it's changing times on a number of fronts, and I just, there is part of me that wishes there was some more innovation on Bitcoin. You know, I'm quite fascinated, you know, of course, you know, I've been a Bitcoin maximalist for a number of years now, but I do also like some of these things I'm seeing on Ethereum in this DeFi space. You know, this is the real FU to traditional finance.
Well, it is. But this is a, you know, Elrond chart, and this is insanity. So, you know, from the point that it dropped into the market, it is back. So which is just insane. So many of these altcoins and, you know, tokens had such massive corrections over sort of 2018, 2019. It was so devastating for so many of them, and we thought they were dead, they were never coming back. And in the background, all these teams have continued to just quietly work, and we're seeing the, you know, the rewards of what they've been doing right now in how these coins are moving. So this would have to be, you know, one of the best trades ever. And I've been talking about this since April.
I know you have. It's just, man, when I look at that.
So for anyone that hasn't been, you know, listening or whatever, or following me on Twitter, it's like, I've called it, but I've called many. Like there's this, you know, over the last few weeks, we've 100%, 200%, you know, 300% trades, and it's been kind of crazy. And that's why I'm saying my altcoin bags are pretty heavy at the moment, just with the gains that they've had. So, you know, a lot of that has moved. I've moved it across to BTC at the moment. I will move it back into alts. I'm not holding a lot of alts at the moment, just due to the fact when BTC does move, the alts bleed out. They don't go out of pattern. They just, you know, what happens is the weekend, or the fast, what we call the fast money. So a lot of people are in crypto for fast money. So you jump from one to the next. It's a good way to lose money, because sometimes it just, you know, you jump to the next one and it's already hit its peak and it's going down. So yeah, not an ideal thing to do. But it happens a lot. So, you know, we see Bitcoin moving, everyone's pulled out of the alts today. And see that those happening. But they have not, I've been watching them, and they're not dropping out of patterns. They're still in their patterns, so they're still good to continue on. So another one that I've been trading.
Sorry, no, go ahead. Second half of the show, I just want to talk to you too about your thoughts on the overall sort of DeFi space. But yeah, let's go through the charts and then we'll get into that.
So last chart that I've got, because I'm not in a huge amount of charts at the moment, so I've kept ERD because I'm just pushing the stuff on that one.
BSV finally moves.
Yeah, so BSV has made this nice V pattern, which is really nice. We had a really shallow head and inverted head and shoulders here, which should take us to about 204. There's another pattern if we look at this as an extended flag and we were to look at this as the pole, which potentially it is, we take the pole at the bottom of the flag and which was here. And we've got a target, we should get to about 214 by that. So, you know, with a little bit of added FOMO, you always add a little bit for BSV because there's a lot of inexperienced traders in the space on BSV. So we should get to about 220 on this one. And yeah, it's looking really good. It's finally moved, which is a good thing. Everyone was saying that it was dead, but no, it's moved in line with a lot of the alts, BCH, Litecoin, all have hit their first targets that I had. And yeah, so they're all moving, like the major alts, the top 100 have all started to move. And I lied, that was not my last chart. My last chart is Flexa, which is another DeFi. Now this doesn't have a lot of liquidity, so it does move quite easily. And there's more and more money coming into the market at this point. We can see it here. And we've passed the first target. This was a chart that I had on Twitter. So we've passed that first target. We've done almost 100% in this one, and we should continue. There's about 300% in this chart. So our next target is looking really, really safe. We're starting to build a bull flag here. Now, Flexa has a really extended sort of choppy pattern, so it's really hard to keep a stop on this pattern at all. You can see that it when it does, because you're moving such a large amount of tokens, it sort of, if you market sell, it just sort of crashes the whole entire market. So because it doesn't have the liquidity in it. But it's another one. You'll find that chart on Twitter. And yeah, so it's probably still got another 200 to 250% left in this chart before it sort of is hitting some pretty strong resistance.
Okay. Very good. Right. So
yeah, that's the charts this week.
Yeah, all the action in BTC and Ethereum. Didi, you've made some fantastic videos this week. Any comments on the overall sort of space from yourself, sir?
No, not really.
Not really? Okay, thanks for coming, Dave.
No, man, I'm still recovering from a very heavy weekend of meeting all my family and friends, and combined with alcohol and a lot of fun. But of course, the Bitcoin is going up. Ethereum is going up. Everything is going sky high because the aliens are visiting us. You know, we need to greet them with green candles because else.
We do. Well, how else are they going to, to do anything if they don't have any Bitcoin to spend? So, the aliens are buying up all the Bitcoin here.
Well, look, apparently this alien ship, this is what is just fantastic. We think we're having a bad year. These aliens made it all the way to Earth, then apparently crashed. That's shitty.
But serious, I didn't get this. I didn't get this story. So there's an alien ship that crashed.
They've said that. I'm not entirely sure when it was, but the White House has come out and said that, hang on, let me. So evidence suggests UFO whistleblower Bob Lazar was telling the truth. After all, a Pentagon contractor gave classified briefing to the US government officials in March of off-world vehicles not made for this Earth. So they've, so Joe Rogan has had some guests on the show, and they've talked about this, and it's really fascinating.
Yes, effectively they crashed. They made it all the way to Earth, and they crashed.
Yeah. So what happened to, I don't know what the aliens
they are like
or the
very
high
tech.
Yeah.
Then again, when we finally
look like?
When we finally get to Mars, we'll probably crash there, I guess. I suppose it does kind of make sense. But yeah.
So yeah, but what do they actually look like, and what, you know, can they morph into people? What do they look like? This is the thing.
Here,
It's like
I have one.
No
there's
traders.
no
Yeah,
details
they look
out.
like, oh God, there's a little kid with a gun next to you, Didi. Watch out.
It's an alien. It's an alien. It's my
You
little
got little
nephew.
blonde aliens.
Say hello.
Say hello to my little friend. That's what he's saying.
I'm Sean,
My little friend. Absolutely.
little green friend.
It's a double
Okay.
meaning because he's got his nephew there and he's got a gun.
Before the show completely deteriorates into alien
Let's
and
keep it
dating
serious, Sean.
Sorry?
It's all every Monday. It's the same. You're not keeping it serious.
I know,
It's
I know. I apologize. I just wanted to ask you both, and then we'll get to the aliens.
Okay.
Didi, what do you think of the DeFi space? Are you having a punt on anything? Does it remind you of the ICO boom? Where does it sort of fit into your thinking?
It's completely the ICO boom, but it's hype, you know, and the hype is creating the hype is creating FOMO, and yeah, there's another ICO boom in the back of
Did
it.
you ask your co-host what he's investing in the? Has he got any picks for us? We'd like to involve children in.
Do you like Bitcoin? Do you have Bitcoin? Do you own Bitcoin? Apps of Bitcoin? Yes.
Okay, good.
Bitcoin.
Okay.
So many.
Back to
No,
you,
Sean,
Didi. What?
Ja, nou, Wacht even. Ik zet even in de show dat je een opname gaat. Eventjes niet. He wants to be in the show, Sean.
That's fine. It's absolutely fine. Bring him on.
He's going. Yeah, he's going to bring his friends. So
Okay.
now, no. Yeah, the whole DeFi, it's all hype. It's all hype, and it's not cryptocurrency, in my opinion. It's just it's you know it is cryptocurrency, but where is the decentralization in these cryptos? You know, and that's what we are all talking about. Bitcoin being a dinosaur. Yeah, it's a dinosaur. But in my opinion,
it does what it does well, Didi, and don't get me wrong.
It's decentralized, Sean.
Yeah,
it's we don't want another filthy monetary system that is going to disrupt the whole humanity by just being not honest.
Think about it this way, Didi. So, you know, think of like all these blockchains as the road. I use my car theory. So we don't all like Toyota. We don't all like, you know, Lambos. We don't all like the same car. But the DeFi allows us to all drive on the same road if we want to. So you can then take your Prius or your Lambo and you can drive on that other blockchain. So that's essentially what DeFi allows us to do.
Of course, I understand this. And of course, I understand that the whole DeFi industry is the groundwork for all these centralized, the CBDC, these centralized European digital currencies to operate and to conquer the world again on the filthy way they have been doing with the US dollar and the euro. Now, I think it's a step that the governments have been creating and be allowing to create, because if you look at these DeFi projects, how can they even exist? They are able to print money. It has never been allowed by a government to allow projects to print money, and now these DeFi industry projects can print money as hell. So they are allowing this, they are regulating this, so there is a thought behind it because of the governments. They want to create this highway so that they can overrule the highway we created that was called Bitcoin or Litecoin or whatever. So I think there is this is a way for them to disrupt the system we were building. And I'm very afraid, that because of the status of the human beings in living in fear, because of this COVID and all the shit, and because of being in shock and having a financial crisis and having unemployment, they will all grab now to this safety net again, because it feels safe, because it's given to them by the governments and the banks. And now the banks are allowing all these people to store their Bitcoins on the same safety net. So I think they already know what they are doing. And I think it's a very beautiful strategic step the governments have been taking by allowing these.
You may well be absolutely correct, Didi. There's a lot happening at the moment that does concern me. I find it astounding that in media we're seeing all these scam ads running even on our channels, yet we're getting censored left, right, and center. I agree. I do think we're going to end up with central bank issued digital currencies. In fact, I was on a webinar last week with some US politicians talking on the subject. They actually praised the Bitcoin, the fact that it hadn't been hacked for 11 years, etc. I think what we're going to see is these central bank digital currencies, and a lot of what's happening in DeFi will effectively hang off the end of that. So yes, it will be part of the Big Brother system without a doubt. Bitcoin will be the only project completely separate to that. It's decentralized. You know, if you're smart enough to have your own Bitcoin in your possession, then that's the big difference. And we'll continue to educate people on that. But I also see that some of these DeFi projects will disrupt the retail banks. Now, these things continually are propped up when we go into these crises. Why? That shouldn't be happening. I think some of these DeFi projects will effectively replace what we've got in our current banking system. And, you know, yes, it may be hanging off the end of a central bank digital currency, but it still is a step in the right direction for me. It's still part of that old system, but it's a step in the right direction.
But
that's my position.
Let's say that this step will continue and we will think like 2 years up front or forward, you know?
Yeah.
Then the banks will be allowed to hodl your Bitcoins as a custodial service.
Or you may as well throw your Bitcoins away for a lot of people if you're going to do that, I think.
But that's the same as what
they will also be able
lend AAVE, or you put your money into these and you borrow from that. So you put your Bitcoin, Ethereum, whatever into Nexo, or you put it into Lend, and you can borrow against that. So that's essentially what the banks are trying to do. They're trying to
they are going to offer you staking Bitcoins. They're going to offer you to
so basically you're just staking it. Yeah.
So why would we use banks for this? And I think this whole DeFi step in between, I think the banks and the governments allowed it. I think the banks and the governments allowed it.
So keep
the banks and then
keep your Bitcoin to yourself, and then use these other projects with other folks.
The thing is, if you're going in and you're staking these projects, if you're staking Ethereum 2.0, you're staking ERD, you're entering a contract that says, I'm going to give you my Ethereum at X amount of dollars, and you've bought it at, say, $150 and it's now $300. But if it went the other way, you can't sell that Ethereum. It's now worth less. So, that's the kind of risk that you're taking. And essentially if you are taking loans out via Nexo or Lend or through banks eventually, that's the point where you're going to get these margin calls on these cryptos if they do go down. I don't think they're going to go down in the short term or even in the next year. I think we're going into a bull run, but that's essentially what can happen. If, you're staking your crypto against any project or putting it into a bank and you're borrowing from it, then you have to be aware that crypto can come down in value.
I think we're just to clarify my position, Didi. For me, the point of Bitcoin is that you are your own bank. If that's still lost on people, then you're really missing the point completely. That is what Bitcoin is. And now, yes, we're seeing institutional investment into the space. It's making a lot of people happy. It probably will be the catalyst for skyrocketing the value of Bitcoin. But at the end of the day, that's fraught with danger. It makes the attack vector to effectively take Bitcoin out of the equation, should those institutions want to play that game. If it's all in custody in their possession, then that can happen. Bitcoin is all about you being your own bank. But these DeFi projects, to me, that's quite separate. I mean, they're really almost two different financial systems that are running parallel. And I think some of the innovation happening on Ethereum in DeFi, it's not decentralized. We know that. Do I have a major issue with that? No, I don't, because I see Bitcoin as completely separate. It's I think it's going to be the lesser of two evils to have all this decentralized finance, even if it's hanging off the back of a central bank issued digital currency. Our current system is screwed. We know it's fraud or badly designed, whatever way you want to look at it. But I do see a massive difference between what's happening on Ethereum and Bitcoin. And I don't think to be a Bitcoiner, you have to hate everything else that's going
No,
on. And
no,
I've
no.
fought against
No.
that for years now, and
So have I. And it's like, you know, I'm not a maximalist, and I trade, and I use several of them, and I use Bitcoin just recently, and it's like I won't be sending that again. But to take 18 hours to send, it was just insane.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like, there's so many amazing projects in the space. I don't know why you would just focus on one when you can sort of, you know, if you're a trader, if you're like hodling, then spread your, you know, investments across it.
I mean, trading's a whole new thing altogether, isn't it? Because you can still, even if you absolutely think a project's a total and utter joke, if there's volume in it and you know how to trade, this is
exactly
up for the next year or two. I mean, that's a altogether another conversation. I guess it should be the conversation seen as we're doing a trading show, but that is the reality. I mean, this is Trader's Paradise coming up, and to anyone new,
a bull run, you don't have to have a lot of knowledge in trading. You just buy and let it go, and it's like you just, you know, if you move your stop up, if you're willing to risk it, then, you know, profit is profit.
Those days are coming, though, aren't they, Lisa? And that said, it's most basic level talking about stop losses, but half the time that's the big problem. You know, that's that emotional.
Well, in a bear market, a stop loss is essential because you can lose, you know, the majority of.
But even in a bull market, you know,
even in a bull market as well. So it's insanely crazy.
They can see the order book and clean you out at will, or at least that was what it was like in 278.
Oh, it is, and that's what I was talking about earlier with the stop losses sort of moving, and you know, you've got those $1,000 moves in Bitcoin, and then a $2,000 move the next day, and it was insane.
Yeah, I'm seeing crypto YouTubers now advertising Telegram groups for freaking $2,000 this morning, which is, to me, it's like, all right, here we go again.
Yeah, so that was the insanity of 2017, 2018, where you would sign up for a crypto group or a Discord or a Telegram, and it was, you know, 3 Ethereum, and Ethereum at that point was like $1,000. So you're paying $3,000 to join these things. And then we went into a bear market. So that was the insanity of all of that. And people were still doing it. People were so keen to do it. There were thousands upon thousands of people wanted to, you know, have all the information that they were going to get rich. And it's such a driving, and greed is such a driving point for so many people.
Yeah.
And that is exactly what those governments and those banks know. And that is the only reason why they accept all these industries next to Bitcoin popping up. It's a game show. It's a big game, and I'm very afraid that we are going to lose the game if we again step into this world of banking, banks allowing people to store their bitcoins there, or banks allowing projects like Tether or like Dai or like all of them to just continuously print money out of thin air, because that's the biggest competition that banks have been stopping at Facebook and Libra. They don't allow them, but they do allow all these other projects. There's a reason behind this.
But I think rather than complain about the game, Didi, you've got to learn to play it. And it's you've got this awareness that, you know, putting your Bitcoin into a bank is going to possibly, you know, you might lose it. So you're not going to do it. No. So, you know, that's, you know, the game. So, you know, it's...
For me, it's the goal to educate people on the same game. You know, I'm not complaining about these projects, but I'm just not understanding why the community is giving so much attention to this game if they could give the same attention to another game.
It's greed. it's money, and it's greed, and it's like money is power, and you know, a lot of people think of that still to this day, that, you know, with money you have freedom as well. So you know, there's so many things that are attached to money that are not necessarily good, and you know, you've just got to be aware of that and do the best thing for you. You can't control what anyone else does. You can try and educate them, but you can't control.
You can lead by example.
You can lead by example.
You can lead by example. You can show. you can show, for example, Lisa, you could show that you have all the money you want and all the money you have, but when you're locked up in your house, what is the money good for?
Exactly. Exactly. So,
That is,
you know, and
so
I
that is
can,
what we should talk about, not about
well, that's
projects
the
that are
thing.
allowed to
It's
print
like,
money and
you
money.
know,
But I
I
agree
would
with you
rather
all. I
have,
love DeFi. I love all the stable currency. I love everything.
yeah.
But for me, I think there is just something behind it, which will we find out in a few years, and it's going to disrupt the system we were supposed to disrupt. And we are not
Yeah.
disrupting the system anymore. We are
And
involving
I
the system
totally,
into this.
I totally agree with you on that point. Like I was the happiest when I was traveling the world and I was doing all the stuff I wanted. And, you know, I was helping my ex out getting better. And I was happy to do that. And I was happy to spend all the money on that and not be making all the money and not be sitting here trading all day. You know, I thought my year this year was going to be vastly different. So, you know, I put up a tweet saying that I was going to be focusing on my film. I left my Discord. I did all of these things because money is not the focus of what I want to do. It never has been and it never will be. And yeah, that's kind of, I agree with you on that point, Didi, that you can have all the money in the world and it doesn't buy happiness. You know, I'm sitting in my house and it's not where I want to be. I would rather be traveling the world, or I'd rather be helping people, or I'd rather be doing something of value that, you know, I feel like I'm contributing. So, and that's why I spend so much time on Twitter, because I do have the time. You know, I am writing and I am doing all of that stuff, but while I've got time, I can help people sort of make some money now, and then when this is done, they can go and live their life, and hopefully they go, oh, Lisa helped me do this.
Yeah. Didi,
You know.
question. Obviously, you know, you were very much an influential figure in my understanding of what Bitcoin is, and you know, I still hold on to you know what you taught me years ago. Now, what have you seen? You seem a little annoyed about what's happening in that BTC community. Where have they lost their way, in your opinion? What's going wrong and what's going well?
That's very easy to summarize it. I've said it many times. We have evolved from a small community of people with a revolutionary thought of disrupting the monetary system to a very egoistic, selfish community that is only accumulating wealth. So you will not be able to win or to disrupt a system or to win a revolution if you're only thinking about accumulating wealth and yourself. Because if the goal of this accumulating wealth would be at the end to spend this wealth in disrupting the system, I will fully agree with it, but that's not the goal. The people that are now in this system and now in this crypto community are just in it to make wealth for themselves. And they are not going to share it. They don't care about other people. It's just about, you know, this simple greed that has been brought into to their mindset since, you know, because of the schools and all that stuff, which I already say. But, you know, if everybody should stop for a moment and really observe what is happening in crypto space, then nobody can deny that we are being swallowed again by the banks. It's happening, and we are not fighting against it. We are swimming with the flow with it because it makes us filthy rich.
I
what I feel very sad
it's
about.
like, you know, if you're trading and, you know, my major investments are sitting in BTC, Ethereum, and BSV, and they're within my control, I'm not going to give the banks that control. So if you are promoting knowledge and, you know, it's only the minority that are going to give those banks control of their Bitcoin or whatever, and say, here, I'm going to get a home loan against this, or I'm going to buy a car against this. You hold my Bitcoin, and, you know, I'm going to take a $20,000 loan or a $250,000 loan or whatever. And that's you know, a few people. I don't think that's the bulk of the crypto community. I think the community as a whole know, you know, what Bitcoin and what cryptocurrency is all about. I think, you know, a few new people coming in are going to have that idea, and then there's the greed, of course. You know, I can see, by the way, some people think that they can speak to me on Twitter and ask me, you know, various different questions without being polite, and I just ignore them. And you know, there's those people coming in, and then you've got the really respectful, lovely people that have been there for such a long time. A lot of the people that I have on Twitter have been following me for like 4 or 5 years. And, you know, I know who they are. I know what they do. I know, you know, their sort of their backgrounds and everything. And those people are still there. And I think they're just not being as vocal. And I think if these things start to happen, then they're going to start vocalizing it.
I fully agree with that. I don't even doubt your, you know, your ethics or whatever, because I think I know that you're on it. I in it for the same reasons. But what I mean to say is that if we don't guard the fact that if you give kids a finger, they take your hand and they take your arm. This is the same tactics the banks are using at the moment. They are slowly. You're not giving away control. They are taking control, but very slowly on this very smart backstabbing way again. And we are not seeing this, so we are just agreeing with it because we don't know what else to do. But they are starting now with, you know, no, you can hold some Bitcoins at our bank, and they will go further and further and further, and they will dig themselves into this industry again. And because of this greedy mindset of the people, they will get control. They will grab control, and this is what we, I think, as a community, need to guard. And I think this bull run is perfect. I love trading. I love, you know, this whole community. But I think at the same time, this bull run is confusing people as well, because if we will see a huge bull run on the background, these banks are grabbing more control. We will not be focusing on the bank. We will be focusing on the bull run. And this is how governments play the game everywhere. They create some disorder somewhere in the world so they can do their plan here. And I have this strange thing that I don't understand why they suddenly allow all these DeFi products, because it's creating money, it's printing money. This is not legal.
It is, but that's the same argument. Maybe COVID was the cover for the aliens coming in. And we're all sitting in our houses, and all the aliens are now amongst us, and they're wearing human suits, and we don't know who they are.
It's not even COVID. It's just their normal, like, bacteria on their skin that was now coming with them. That's what
another major one for me, before we get into the aliens, is the removal of cash.
Of what?
The removal of cash is a major concern as well. That's getting ramped up at the moment. COVID has possibly been used as a rationale for that to happen, and I'll get to that in a second. But that's another good reason to have some Bitcoin money you actually control, because when cash is gone, we are firmly in the same scenario as China. Your personal.
But has cash? This is my argument with cash. It's like, hardly anyone uses cash, and it's like we've been using FBOS cards forever, and it's like, you know, now in Australia you can't use cash with COVID, but I don't know.
But at least
actually used it.
Yeah, but it's more, you know, it's more that concept of I totally understand what you're saying, but we have the option of cash. You know, you can stick some money under your bed in a safe. It's yours. You're in control of it. Once that's gone and you're in a scenario that the Chinese are, where things are socially scored, that's a scary move for me. And I think we're heading in that direction at the moment. It's another use case for having money you control, that you're the customer, you know.
And that is definitely another use case for having cryptocurrency for sure. And, you know, having control of that money and to being able to sort of, you're not going to stash.
I mean, I agree with Didi. A lot of these cryptos are going to end up being extensions of central bank digital currencies. They're going to tag on to the end of these things as they're launched, and it seems a given that that's happening now. So look, you know, just a summary from my point of view: Bitcoin, BTC, money you control, be your own bank. Very, very different thing to a lot of the innovations happening that I'm also quite excited about. They hopefully will disrupt.
But there's a thing that my brother says about being your own bank. So a bank is able to give loans, it's able to give security, it's able to give like all of these things. So being your own bank ensures like that you can go and get a home loan, or you can go and take a bond, or you can do so many things. So, you know, Nexo products like Lend AAVE and Elrond and those sort of products offer the ability to be a bank. You can put your crypto there and you can loan against it. That's what a bank
the Uber
is.
of banking.
Yeah, so a bank just isn't, you know, putting your money in it and using your money. A bank is a financial service.
Yeah.
Oh, but I fully agree with you on this, Lisa. Don't get me wrong. I love that these projects are popping up, but I think these projects are now used. That's what I thought, that you understood me. The banks are grabbing this power back slowly. So yes, they are.
I do understand that. I was just correcting.
They are allowing these projects to pop up, which are beautiful. But as soon the banks offer the same service as these projects, they will kill those projects with regulations. And then these projects like Nexo and all those projects we loved, they are gone. Everybody has their Bitcoins and cryptocurrencies in custodians at banks because you get 18% of the interest there as well. And then you're fucked. And this is the game they are playing, I think. I think this is the step in between. They created to get the connection between the minds of the people and the crypto and the banks, and not directly into a bank.
That goes down the line as well, Didi, for a project that you've been talking about. So the MCO credit card, where you've got your Bitcoin sitting in there.
Seems a little too good to be true, that one to me.
Yeah, so, you know, essentially that's the same thing.
Yeah, I fully agree. I use them and I love what they are doing, but I think now, till last week, I was very positive on this industry. I was very positive on this development of the DeFi industry, like CryptoCon, the cards and all that stuff. But since last week, everything changed. The banks are now allowed to hold your Bitcoins. This is a very dangerous step. This means they will be the same as Crypto.com, as Nexo, as Money Token, as all these step-up projects we have created. The banks are getting the same position, and the next step will be they will make regulations that all these other companies will be deleted again, and the banks get the power back again, and they will be the Nexo, and they will be again this custodial service that gives you interest, because they can't give you fucking interest on normal money. You need to pay on it. So they are figuring out how.
You do. You know, normal money you get probably, you know, 3%. If that per annum. So it's a minute amount. And it's like, well, you can get 3% in a second right now in Bitcoin. So it's like, why would you, you know, unless you're sort of 60 or 70 or 80 and set in your ways like Warren Buffett, you're not going to do it. You know, that you're going to continue putting your money in bonds or in the bank or whatever. You know, but this is a new way of investing and a new way of making money for this new generation that's coming through. And we really need to encourage that. And I understand what you're saying, but I still think it's the way.
Let's make it very easy, okay? Your niece and the parents of your niece, whatever, and they now get the option to buy Bitcoins. Are they going to use Nexo, or are they going to use their bank account?
They're going to use their bank account.
So what are they doing? They're fucking.
Hopefully, there's companies like, you know.
They are not going to use Nexo. You and me, we crazy as fuck people in the crypto community. We have been in this. We have been in this industry. We believe these things. But now that these banks are going to offer the same service, every family member of mine I met on the last 2 days here partying, you know, I got them to buy some Bitcoin and everything. But all of them, I asked them the same question. If your bank is going to offer you to buy Bitcoins and hodl them for you, would you do it, or would you trust me? They chose the bank. Everybody in the world is going to choose those banks because it's easy, because there's only one upgrade of their banking app. Update, oh shit, I got Bitcoins. Why would they, you know, they are, yeah, sorry.
This goes along the whole lines of the marketing that these cryptocurrency companies need to do to get this out into the public as to, you know, what they do and what they can achieve. And I've said this for such a long time, like coming from a marketing background, that we need to bring that into cryptocurrency. You know, I think things like BSV are so undermarketed, it's not funny. And, you know, for what they can do, and you can have your name as your wallet. It's like, you know, people send me via hand cash, Lisa N. Edwards, they know that that's my wallet.
Yeah.
So, you know, there's so much marketing that this space needs to do to take it away from the banks, and they're just not doing it. So I do agree with that. That, you know, the
we have been for years. We get bugger all support from these communities.
Oh yeah, so it's just like, you know, you've got this trust, and people trust banks. They trust them as secure, and they trust them that they're not going to do the wrong thing. Whereas cryptocurrency, for such a long time, has been marketed by, you know, Silk Road and by the media as dodgy as fuck. So, you know, we've got to change that idea and that perception in people's minds.
Well, I mean,
it's
look,
a slow process.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you know, even within BTC, there's some great people there, but at times does feel like banging my head on the wall. You know, I'm pretty sure Didi shares the same sentiments, and you know, we create this content. There aren't people that are getting behind us and going, "Your message is great. More people need to hear it. Here's some funding." It just doesn't happen in BTC. The people that are getting funded are through these wrapped products now, which is effectively putting your Bitcoin into banks. They'll throw money at you. But that's not Bitcoin. That's, you know, I'd be happy to take money from other projects doing similar things in other projects. That's great, you know, and that's what some of the things I like in DeFi. But that's not Bitcoin. That's what BTC, at least anyway. So that's a real frustration. I don't know whether that's going to change or not. I mean, it also then throws up the worry that, okay, well, Bitcoin does actually end up doing well. Jesus Christ, who are some of these big bag holders that are going to be the most powerful people out there? That's also a worry.
Yeah.
Because it's a real douchebag.
I don't think those people have changed a great deal, though. I don't think, you know, a huge amount of wealth came into Bitcoin at $3,000-$4,000 when we got to that low. I think the general population still weren't excited about Bitcoin. I think it's still the same people that are buying up Bitcoin and still hold the majority of it. So, yeah. And I think, you know, that's the exchanges. I really think that's the big whales and the exchanges. And I think that's not going to change.
Yeah. Yes. Well, I'm liking some of the fire in the belly chat here today, people. It's very good. I mean, it's sort of an indication of, I hope people can understand that we're very passionate about what we do. The traditional system is shaking, but at the same time, and it does, I agree, Didi, it does feel like it's encroaching fast on the space, maybe not in the right ways. Many respects. Sorry, go.
If you zoom out into this whole adventure, Sean, you zoom out, you know, you can see we are, you know, the one of the first steps in this whole industry was we are going to bank the unbanked. You know,
that got forgotten, didn't it?
I think we've forgotten about this, but I think the banks didn't forget about this. They are going to do this now. And that's how they are going to be the saviors of the world again, because their app will be able to be downloaded by those 2.7 billion unbanked people as well.
Yeah.
Just by having a phone, you don't have to have a bank account anymore, because we shifted away. You can now hollow your crypto at all.
That's the same. So the same as, like, you know, BSV has been going into Africa. Akon has a project that he's taking into Africa. So, you know, there's so many projects that do that, though, Didi. So it's not necessarily the banks going into those regions. The banks don't go into those regions. So that's why these projects, you know, are taking advantage of this, and it's good. So I don't think the banks are going to take that over.
I fully agree with you that we are already doing it, but it's a very strange timing of the banking industry and the whole monetary system to take these steps and allow all this stuff now, because this would be the perfect time to still overtake them. Of course, it's perfect that BSV or Akon is doing this in Senegal, and beautiful. He's going to build this crypto city, but probably funded by the banks as well. And probably, you know, and probably the banks are seeing now that the power of blockchain and crypto is very big, and it's a perfect tool to decentralize the world. And of course, on the background, they have been developing all these blockchain projects themselves as well, and they are going to roll them out, and they are going to offer all these poor people in the world lendings as well.
It's the perfect tool it's the perfect tool for a central bank to use blockchain to issue its own currency, but then to make these universal basic income payments, which I think is not too far away. I do see that's how this is going to evolve. That's, we're entering a very different world quickly.
Lisa,
and
I'm not giving up. I'm not giving up.
Don't. You give up. I'm telling the fucking aliens to come and pick me up. I'm out of here.
I am already talking to a group of aliens.
I think you're already talking to aliens. What?
Yeah, they are going to help me. They are going to help me to disrupt this.
Are they green? Tell me about them, Didi.
Maybe Didi is the alien, Lisa. Maybe he's the alien that's come to save us.
Two of them are green? Are there any pink aliens?
One is pink. I fancy the pink one. Yeah. I think she's female, but I know if the roles are turned around on this island, maybe the pink ones are the human, the males.
Oh, look, I've enjoyed this chat. I didn't see this one coming today, but clearly a lot of fire in the belly at important times. And Didi, keep up what you're doing. I think you're one of the few people out there really trying to educate people on exactly what this technology does provide and what it really is. That does get lost.
As long as they don't allow us to, as long as they are not shadow banning us and not allowing us to reach people.
That is
exactly.
But
I'm not quite sure.
I need to be very honest, because I'm so busy with all that stuff. I'm now getting help of Lisa with trading, and Lisa has already helped me with a few trades. But I'm so busy, I just forget to put in the trades. That's like terrible. Do you see that?
I've been telling you guys.
It's just rum. It's just rum. I really need to get up to normal life again, man.
So are they rum eyes?
It's rum eyes. It's like Friday rum, Saturday rum, and Sunday rum. And now getting up at 8 o'clock.
You've never been a big drinker, Didi. What's going on? Are they leading you astray in Holland?
I think I'm destroying COVID with rum.
There's lots of different rums. So you could go, white rum. You could go,
dark rum. Yeah. I'm making a new shirt.
I saw your video cruising around on a nice boat, stopping at a restaurant called Moby Dick.
Yeah, going to Moby Dick and, promoting whales.
Yeah.
But that was really happening. I was watching your chart, and we were in this boat trip to the restaurant of a friend, and it's called Moby Dick. It really is called Moby Dick with this whale as a logo.
That was the same day that I had my Moby he's a dick chart.
Yeah,
it's like,
exactly.
Because he was taking out the stop losses, all the shorters. It's like the shorters would go in and he'd be like, no, sorry.
I think you two are the aliens. I think something's going on here.
Something is brewing. Something is brewing. And I was eating my shrimp, my pasta shrimp, and I see this Moby Dick. I see the chart. I see Bitcoin flying up. I'm like, this is too many coincidences. This is not possible. There is some kind of a strange connection now between dicks. This is not.
Well, no, they're not dicks. They're dildos. So we've had the big green dildos, especially in Elrond. So we've had the biggest dildo in Elrond ever. So yeah.
How did it feel?
It's felt completely awesome. It's like me love you long time. Well, it's pretty much the only dildo I've had for a while.
Oh, wait, we use the better one.
Oh Lord, Didi, how is Holland anyway? You've been there for a week.
Change the subject.
Can you see how it is? It's terrible.
He needs to go back to the healthy life of Copenhagen.
Next week. No, it has been beautiful. The last weekend was amazing. My grandmother turned 85, so we had my sister and my nieces organized a huge party with tents and music, and it was a beautiful weekend because I got to see all my family in 2 days. but all my families are alcoholics. So no. No, it's just beautiful to see all your family again and have some drinks and fun and dance with your grandmother, and we played Elvis songs and all that stuff. So I had a lot of fun. But I have these younger nephews, and they are like, "Oh no, Didi, stay up." So you stay up till 4:30, and then you get up at 8 again because you cannot sleep, and you don't get any sleep. And then the day after, another nephew has his birthday. You go there for one of those, but you stay there until 2 o'clock again with some rum, because they still know I drink rum. I think my newest T-shirt is going to be rum BTC.
Rum BTC. It's not like rum. What is it? Run DMC. So it's like yeah. So you've just completely changed it.
I'm going to get the T-shirts off your website, Didi. They're really cool. Have you guys designed any yourselves, or?
Yeah, well, I've got my latest T-shirt. Hang on 2 secs. I've told them I'll put it up. Trading View.
All of them shot.
Shameless plug.
Shameless plug.
Shameless plug.
For Trading View. So yeah, my sexy new Trading View T-shirt.
Awesome.
As a female in crypto, I'm supposed to put it on there and puff out my chest and take a selfie. So there you go.
Can I send you a T-shirt, Lisa?
I have to do that.
Yeah, can I send you a crop top? I will send you. I will send her next week. I will send you the T-shirt.
Sean. What's wrong with Sean? Send Sean it. What is it?
Absolutely. Said we can both wear one.
Okay. We're both going to wear crop tops. Okay.
I didn't actually say a crop top.
Yeah, he did.
What is a crop top? Oh,
Sean.
A crop top's like a shirt that sort of. Crops.
I saw you already wearing a XS shirt of Tone Vase, so I think a crop top will do as well.
Oh,
You.
Tone Vase.
He's like who? It's like somebody behind me. It's like
no. I have a Tone Vase T-shirt. I'm just trying to think if I've got it here.
But I will send you both some T-shirts. And Satoshi is female. I think it's cool for Lisa. Just choose. I will send you a code, and you can choose online and buy shirts, and you get them for free.
Okay.
Just because of all the green candles.
Your Tone Vase did actually give me a T-shirt, and the
you remember?
It was just his head.
It was a crop top for you.
It was a crop top. I've got it. I'll wear it next week, actually. Yeah. Oh man, you've made it when you've got your own T-shirt with your head on it. I guess. Well done, Tone. You've made it.
Somebody asked me for stickers the other day, so I must have made it. They wanted stickers with my rockets and magnets on
you've
it.
Made
so
it,
I'm
Lisa.
like, I've made it.
Woo!
Big time. Hey, she was on Cointelegraph. She made it really big time.
Woo! Good show. Very good show.
With another woman, with another female.
Ooh, girl power.
Crypto Wendy.
We had a threesome like we do every week here.
Absolutely.
I would prefer the other threesome.
It's not happening.
Yeah, that's the paid people.
What was that?
Okay,
No, I am.
I can see this getting out of hand here. This is our longest ever show. It's been good actually. We
yeah, behave, Didi.
a brief
Behave.
look at the charts and some fire in the belly.
Hold it.
Yeah. Anything else? I think we've done charts. We've done what BTC really is. Dicks and dildos. Anything else? Or aliens? We've covered.
Aliens are here. They've clearly taken over Didi's mind.
Yeah. I
But
think it's
guys, do yourself a favor. Check out Joe Rogan and check out that interview. It was really amazing. So yeah.
Oh, before I forget, Lisa, are you doing the copy trading on that platform?
Oh my
Had
God.
a number of people ask me.
How many weeks left of COVID do we have? Lockdown? Possible.
Possible.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll put a tweet out. If I get 500 likes on my tweet, I'll do copy trading.
There you go. You heard it here.
500. Because normally I don't get that many. So if I get 500 likes, you can copy trade me on Prime XBT.
All right, people. That
That's,
would,
that will be an easy one. I think we just buy 500 likes.
Don't do that.
oh, look, I'd like to be able to copy trade you. I think that, you know, obviously we've had a good discussion about what Bitcoin really is today, but also, you know,
Okay, if I'm going to do
I want to
copy
make some money
trading,
in this space.
I'm going to call it, what am I going to call it? So you've got to come up with a good name because they all have, you know, the real deal trader and all of this stuff. So what are we going to be? Are we going to be Girl Power? I've got to have a really cool name.
Yeah, I think instead of pussycat, we make it copycat.
Sounds good. Yeah, and we'll make you Didi will send you a t-shirt. But yeah, look, I would love to be able to copy trade you. Then I can sort of get on with. I mean, we know how much time making this content involves, Lisa. So it'll be easy to go. Look, yeah, you do the trading.
So I just do all the work. That's fine.
Absolutely. But I'm sure that what you say. How does it work? You get a skim on the
I do. I get 20%. So it's a profit share sort of thing. So depending on how much BTC you put in there, it's anywhere from, I think, the exchange gets a portion as well, and then. So the exchange, I think, starts at 20% and it goes, as you put more BTC in, they drop down to 5%. The trader always gets 20%. And, you know, you're sort of getting between 60 to 75% of the profits, which, you know, is really good. So if you're making huge profits, like, you know, I've been playing on Prime XBT for quite some time, and in a trade I did there yesterday, I made 500%. So maybe I should be copy trading.
Well, all right, exactly. So anyone watching this, there is a link below to Lisa's Twitter, obviously also to Didi's videos and his channel. But go and like Lisa's tweet. Let's get her.
I'll put a tweet out, and instead of my trade of the week this week, I'll put this tweet out, and if I get 500 likes, then I'll open a copy trading.
So you're locked up in Melbourne, Lisa. What better thing to do?
True. Make some money. Because I've got nowhere to spend it. I've got nowhere to travel. And then when this is all finished, I can travel the world again on my copy trading profits.
Sean, so let's split the profit. So I will tweet the tweet with my Prime XBT referral link because she already takes the cut out of the profits. Use my link to sign up.
Use my link to sign up, and then I get double profits.
All right, we're rounding out. And
if you use my promotional code or Didi's promotional code, when you put in 3 BTC, you get an additional. If you're trading your own money, an additional 50%. So, yeah.
Okay, and if you subscribe to my channel, you go in the draw to win the Bitcoin sock that I've been putting out there for the last few episodes.
Well, I've got a really tricky
Bitcoin chain.
So this was my sock, and it's now my amazing. I saw online how to make an amazing face mask out of my sock. Hang on, it's not going on. So yeah, so there we go.
Well, I've lost the other Bitcoin sock, so maybe I can do that.
So that's what you should be doing. Original sock, face mask.
Right. Very good.
Nifty, yeah? So the heel becomes your chin.
Right, guys, we're coming up on 2 hours, and I've got to timestamp this thing, which means it's not going to be out till for a long time. So, shall we wrap it up?
We should wrap it up. We're digressing into Bitcoin socks and to face masks. Yeah.
You look very funny with this chin. So let's stop.
Bitcoin chain.
Beautiful one. Bling bling.
Right.
No.
I have the same. You know this?
You do have the same.
No way.
Yeah. It was given to us by
I
Satoshi.
just own you both. I just own you both. There's no more threesomes.
You don't like a couple of dudes in gold chains, Lisa?
Do you know what? We've talked so long. It's now dark outside.
This is true. On that note, everyone, if you're still with us, there's something wrong with you, but congratulations, you're in the draw for a Bitcoin sock. Okay, always a great time talking with you two. You make my Mondays. We hope everyone watching has enjoyed and learned something. And follow Lisa on Twitter. Get over there, like that tweet so we can copy trade her. And I'll put the link to Didi's channel below. He makes some fantastic videos, which are about 15 minutes in length, which are probably about the right sort of length, Didi.
To keep maximum viewers.
He's frozen with some dodgy look on his face. No, he's back. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, you want to say goodbye in Dutch, Didi?
Doei.
Hasta la
We
vista,
say
baby.
doei. Tot de volgende keer. Doei, tot de volgende keer. Bye.
See you guys. See you next Monday.
Bye.
And we'll see you on Twitter. Bye now.